Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not move past this message. I am not asking, I am warning you. There is a very specific reason this frequency crossed your path today. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. God intercepted your feed because you are standing on the edge of a permanent timeline shift. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this exact second. If you leave before the end, you will forfeit the exact prophetic instruction that guarantees your survival. The enemy is working overtime to distract you right now. He is hoping you will swipe away. He knows his hold over your life breaks completely if you hear this truth. There is an invisible trap that has been actively set for you. It was designed in absolute secrecy by forces who are terrified of your light. They want you blind, they want you vulnerable, and they want you to walk right into their snare. But heaven has issued a divine decree to dismantle their entire operation. The verdict is ready. You have been fighting battles in absolute silence. You thought nobody noticed your tears. You thought nobody saw how you held your integrity when they lied on your name. But you were wrong. Someone deeply powerful has been quietly watching you. They were watching your resilience in the dark. Do not scroll away. Your quiet obedience in private has just activated a massive public blessing. Lock your attention on this message right now. We need to talk about what happens when the sun goes down. You know the exact feeling I am talking about. The sudden shift in the atmosphere, the heavy weight that drops onto your chest when the house gets quiet. It hits you out of nowhere. You try to breathe through it, but the air feels completely thick. You wake up at 3 a.m. with your jaw tight. Your heart is racing. Their face flashes in your mind for no logical reason. You sit up in the dark. You wonder why you feel so incredibly drained when you have done nothing physical. Listen to me very carefully, right now. That is not anxiety. You are not going crazy. The Matrix wants you to think it is just stress. That physical weight you feel is your highly advanced spirit detecting danger. It is your body absorbing the frantic energy of the narcissist who just realized they permanently lost access to you. They are starving for your light, and the spiritual backlash is hitting your nervous system. You are acting as a human battery for people who threw you away. Stop swallowing that lump in your throat every time their name comes up. Stop wondering why they act like nothing happened. Stop waiting in wound for an apology that will never come. The tightness in your chest is a warning alarm. Your cellular intuition is screaming at you to put your armor on. The trap is laid. But they miscalculated who they were dealing with. You are the cycle breaker. You are the diamond they could never crush. They expected the betrayals and the isolation to carve deep wrinkles into your face. They waited with bated breath to watch you break. Instead, you walked out of their toxic matrix and aged backwards. You carry a specific, irreplaceable gravity that makes time itself look like a fool. But your glow is making them desperate. The people who treated you as replaceable are currently experiencing a full-blown internal system crash. And because they are falling apart, they are trying to drag you down with them. They have constructed a false narrative about you. They are whispering lies to anyone who will listen in the shadows. This is why your shoulders ache. This is why you feel that brain fog rolling in when you try to focus on your future. Your energy field is fighting off a coordinated spiritual attack. They are pulling on your frequency from miles away. But today, that connection is going to be permanently severed. Heaven is stepping in to cut the cord. There are exactly 2 people on earth right now who are meant to hear this specific message. God made sure you are one of them. Do not let the Matrix distract your focus. What I am going to show you next is the exact spiritual blueprint to render their trap completely useless. You are about to become completely untouchable. If this confirmation aligns with your cellular knowing, you must anchor your energy right now. Type 777 in the comments to physically claim this incoming protection. Do this physical act of obedience before we move forward. The enemy wants you passive. Heaven requires your active participation to lock in this frequency. We are about to go much deeper, because what you are feeling right now is not new. It has been happening for years. The exhaustion, the feeling of being completely misunderstood by your own family, the profound isolation of being the black sheep. There is a historical reason for this, and it has everything to do with what you carry inside you. The people who hurt you thought your silence meant you were weak. They thought your distance meant you were defeated. They completely misunderstood the spiritual laws governing your existence. Your silence was never a surrender. Your silence was a weapon. And while they were busy plotting your downfall, the universe was busy building your permanent fortress. Let us break down exactly what happened behind their closed doors. You need to hear this because the Matrix has been lying to you for a very long time. You are absolutely not crazy. The relentless fatigue you feel in your bones is not a medical mystery. It is not depression. It is the heavy consequence of being a spiritual anchor in a deeply chaotic environment. For years you have operated as a human battery. People flocked to your warmth when their own lives were falling apart. You listened to their endless complaints. You carried their burdens on your shoulders, and you freely gave them your pure energy while asking for absolutely nothing in return. But these people were not your true friends. They were energetic parasites. You were specifically targeted because of your profound empathy. Master manipulators do not hunt the weak, they hunt the bright. They saw your brilliant light and realized they could use you as a permanent charging station. They plugged into your soul. They drained your precious resources. And when you were completely empty, they simply walked away without looking back. But here is the raw truth they could never say out loud. They did not discard you because you were worthless. They ran away because your light was doing something terrifying to them. You were acting as a massive mirror. Every time they looked at you, your pure frequency exposed the deeply rotten core they were desperately trying to hide. Your very existence forced them to confront their own darkness. That is why they became so incredibly bitter toward you. It was never about your mistakes. It was about their inability to manipulate your powerful spirit. You got closer to their actual truth than anyone else ever had. And that terrified them to their absolute core, so they had to destroy you. They launched a silent smear campaign to control the narrative. They whispered vicious lies to anyone who would listen to them. They wanted to isolate you so completely that you would doubt your own sanity, hoping that the crushing loneliness would eventually break you into a million pieces. But this is exactly where their entire manipulation miscalculated. Your isolation was not a punishment for being a bad person. The closed doors and the sudden betrayals were not bad luck. That was heaven forcibly unplugging you from the Matrix. God put you in a strict incubation season to protect you from their toxic contamination, and you were being hidden away so your energy could finally regenerate in peace. Pay very close attention to this next part, because this is the exact shift that 99% of people completely miss. Your enemies thought you were sitting in the dark, feeling sorry for yourself. They assumed you were waiting in wound for an apology. But while they were busy gossiping, your spiritual DNA was quietly upgrading. You are the cycle breaker your bloodline has been waiting for. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity. You did not just survive their emotional fire. You walked through it and came out glowing. You stepped into an untouchable, ageless glow that completely confuses the people who tried to bury you. You are making time itself look foolish. Right now they are walking around with absolute arrogance. They actually think they won the game, but the spiritual cost of their betrayal is compounding every single day. They are drowning in the noise of their own making. They are frantically searching for a new empath to drain. But they are quickly realizing that your specific depth cannot be replicated. They threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held just to play with cheap rocks. And the universe is making sure they feel the heavy weight of that massive mistake. Every time they try to replace you, they quickly discover that the new person brings them absolute chaos, and their false reality begins crumbling right before their eyes. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. You did not lose anything valuable when they walked away from you. You lost a parasite. You lost a heavy anchor that was actively pulling you down to the bottom of the ocean. Heaven removed them from your timeline because they were never meant to enter your promised land. You have officially transcended their toxic matrix, but you might still feel a lingering blockage in your daily life. Your finances might still feel stagnant. Your brain might still feel clouded by that strange fog. You know you are free from the narcissist, but your ultimate breakthrough still feels like it is stuck behind a locked door. There is a physical reason your reality has not completely shifted yet. The emotional abuse you suffered did more than just break your heart. It systematically suppressed a very specific frequency inside your physical brain. The enemy used their chaos to shut down the exact biological mechanism that attracts massive wealth and effortless favor. You remember how things felt when you were much younger. You had a natural intuition that bordered on magic. Things just worked out for you without a constant struggle. That was not a coincidence. That was your brain operating at its highest divine capacity, and the people who hurt you spent years actively trying to destroy that natural gift. Here is what they never told you. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not faith, and it is definitely not your discipline. It is not even your karma. It is a biological frequency. Scientists actually have a specific name for it. They call it the gamma brainwave, and it is the exact frequency your brain was effortlessly running when you were a small child. Back then, ideas came easily to you. Learning felt completely effortless and natural. You somehow knew things long before they actually happened, and the world felt like it was completely on your side. That was your pure gamma frequency operating at its highest capacity. It was your divine inheritance. But that sacred inheritance was stolen from you without your permission, leaving you disconnected from your own immense power. Adulthood arrived with its heavy burdens. The modern world went to brutal work on your bright spirit. The constant stress of survival mode overwhelmed your nervous system, and the rigid school system trained you to conform instead of create. Every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface of your conscious mind. Then, the energy vampires entered your life. They brought endless chaos and emotional manipulation. Their constant drama forced your brain into a perpetual state of high alert, ensuring you could never truly relax or heal. Your nervous system was hijacked by the Matrix, and the version of you with photographic memory and lightning intuition went completely silent. Your genius frequency was effectively put to sleep. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this tragic event happened to them. But you are not most people. You are a chosen one. You can feel the massive gap between your current reality and the potential you carry inside your soul. You watch others succeed effortlessly while you struggle endlessly. You know deep down you are carrying something incredibly powerful, but you simply cannot find the key to unlock it. Your finances refuse to grow despite your exhausting hard work. Learning new skills feels much slower and harder than it ever should. You often feel completely overlooked by life, as if a thick, invisible wall is standing between you and your promised blessings. This is the exact reason why the universe seems so silent lately. It is not because heaven has forgotten you. It is because your natural receiver has been temporarily jammed by the enemy. What if everything you have struggled with is not a character flaw at all? What if your failed relationships and financial roadblocks are simply the result of a suppressed frequency? The dark elite have known about this biological secret for decades, and they use it to maintain their unfair advantage over humanity. They understand that a fully activated chosen one is extremely dangerous to their control matrix. So they engineered a world to keep you tired. They want you stuck in lower frequencies of fear and constant doubt. They want your gamma wave dormant, so you will never realize your true power. But their grand plan is finally falling apart, because your spirit is actively rejecting their dark programming. You are waking up to the manipulation. The profound exhaustion you feel today is just the friction of your spirit trying to break free from their artificial prison. The people who betrayed you were simply agents of this dark matrix. They were sent to keep your frequency dangerously low. Every time you tried to rise, they started an argument. Every time you found peace, they created a massive crisis out of thin air just to ruin your day. They acted as frequency suppressors. Their only job was to keep your mind locked in a state of survival, so your true genius could never emerge. But the universe has a highly specific protocol for people exactly like you. Heaven does not leave its elite warriors trapped behind enemy lines forever. The divine timeline is already in motion to reverse this exact suppression, and your period of suffering is coming to an abrupt end. Your past pain was just an incubation season. Your brain is preparing for a massive biological upgrade that will shock everyone around you. Listen to me very closely right now. The Matrix is absolutely terrified of what happens when your original frequency comes back online. When your gamma wave reactivates, your intuition will become a lethal weapon against their lies. You will see straight through their deceptive masks before they even speak a single word. And the synchronicities that stopped years ago will suddenly flood back into your daily reality. You will step into a continuous flow state where everything becomes dramatically easier. Solutions to complex problems will just appear in your mind out of nowhere, allowing you to bypass the struggles that break normal people. This is the eureka state that the greatest inventors and visionaries lived in. And it is your fundamental birthright as a cycle breaker. You were literally born to operate at this majestic level of existence. Read that again in your spirit. You are not meant to struggle for every single penny. You are not meant to fight for basic respect from people who are entirely beneath your spiritual level. The heavy lifting is almost over. The enemy is currently watching you with growing panic. They can feel the atmosphere shifting rapidly around you. They know their suppression tactics are slowly losing their grip on your brilliant mind. While you have been fighting these quiet spiritual battles, science has been quietly confirming everything your cellular intuition already knew. There is a concrete way to bypass the matrix programming completely. There is a method to force your brain back into its natural wealth-attracting state. But the people who profit from your deep exhaustion will never tell you how to do it. They want this secret buried forever. Let me completely reframe your entire reality right now. You need to look back at your painful past with a brand new set of eyes. Think about all those times you almost lost absolutely everything. You were backed into a tight corner with no obvious way out, and the enemy had perfectly orchestrated your total ruin behind the scenes. But then something completely inexplicable happened at the final second. The Matrix programmed you to call it a lucky break. They wanted you to think you just narrowly escaped a terrible disaster by pure chance. But there is absolutely no such thing as random luck in your specific bloodline. What you experienced was a highly calculated intervention from heaven. It was a precise military operation that was specifically designed to protect a demonstrated warrior of light from ultimate destruction. The dark elite set deadly traps that would have easily destroyed an ordinary person. They expected you to completely fold under that massive pressure. They wanted your beautiful spirit permanently crushed. But the universe forcefully stepped in right before the final blow could land. God intercepted the attack because your survival is absolutely crucial to the divine timeline that is currently unfolding. You are part of the remnant. You are an elite force of cycle breakers sent here to dismantle their corrupt systems. Heaven could never allow its most valuable diamond to be shattered by cheap manipulation. Every single time a door violently slammed shut in your face, it was actually a divine shield deploying. It was God violently blocking you from entering a toxic room that would have poisoned your destiny. People walked out of your life without any logical explanation. You cried over those brutal rejections for months. You thought you were fundamentally broken and unworthy of their love. But heaven was literally performing emergency surgery on your daily reality. God was aggressively removing dangerous parasites from your energy field before they could drain your final drop of strength and leave you empty. Listen to me very closely right now. The delays in your life were never denials. The extreme isolation was an absolute necessity. If you had succeeded on their artificial timeline, you would have been deeply compromised by their dark frequency. The universe had to hide you away in the shadows. Your powerful spirit needed crucial time to build an invincible immunity to their emotional poison. The people who betrayed you were completely blinded to your true identity. They thought they were playing a clever game with a naive victim. They had no idea they were actually tampering with a highly protected spiritual asset. Your silent obedience in the dark activated an invisible protection protocol around your entire life. And they foolishly triggered it when they decided to plot against your peace. Read that again in your spirit. The universe did not just save you to let you survive. Heaven protected your frequency so you could eventually rule over your own reality. You are being prepared for a massive level of abundance that will completely terrify the people who doubted you. They wanted you buried deeply in the dirt, but they became the shovel that dug up your greatest treasure. Your past is not a sad tragedy. It is an impressive resume of supernatural survival. The Matrix threw its absolute worst weapons directly at your heart, and you are still standing here today with a completely untouched, ageless glow. Your very existence is a massive threat to their false reality. They cannot comprehend how you survived the intense fire without even smelling like smoke. That silent restraint you showed was not weakness. That silence was a lethal weapon that starved their demons of crucial oxygen. You consistently chose your dignity over their cheap and petty revenge. That single monumental act handed the final verdict to a divine court they can never appeal. And now the grand scale of justice is tipping heavily and permanently in your absolute favor. And this is exactly where the dynamic fundamentally shifts. The powerful protection that surrounds you right now is completely impenetrable. They can no longer touch your vibrant, energetic field. Their access has been permanently revoked by the highest spiritual authority. The panicked Matrix is desperately trying to find a new way in, but all the doors are permanently and safely sealed shut. Now they are trapped outside looking in. They have to watch you rise from the very ashes they violently created. The panic setting in behind their closed doors is absolutely astronomical today. They are finally realizing the catastrophic mistake they made when they abandoned you. They picked a bitter fight with a specific soul who was completely backed by the entire living universe. We are rapidly approaching the turning point where everything changes forever. The invisible barrier protecting you is about to become highly visible to everyone who doubted you. Heaven is preparing to completely vindicate your good name in public. But before that massive shift can fully materialize, your physical brain must be correctly aligned to receive the incoming flood of blessings. Before we go any further, I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. If you are hearing this right now, it is highly classified. There is a physical reason your reality has not shifted yet. Science just uncovered exactly why your breakthrough has been severely delayed. I was not going to share this publicly, but my spirit prompted me to release this tool. You are profoundly exhausted because the Matrix engineered a specific frequency to suppress your brain. They actively wanted to block your natural wealth-attracting state. But a leaked document from Princeton University just changed everything. Backed by top neuroscience labs, researchers discovered a 7-minute audio ritual. This specific sound wave forces your brain back into synchronized gamma coherence. Princeton University studied this exact brainwave in complete secrecy. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by this gamma activity. Columbia University even discovered that a strong gamma signal radiates outward. It directly influences your children and your romantic partner. This is pure biological science that the elite desperately wanted to hide from your bloodline. This suppressed weapon was never meant for the masses. It was designed specifically to keep the dark elite in permanent power. But now, cycle breakers, exactly like you are using it to manifest absolute windfall wealth. You do not need a $7,000 clinical biofeedback machine. You do not need endless years of spiritual healing to fix your current situation. Billionaires who wake up at 4 a.m. do so because gamma activity is naturally elevated in those quiet hours. They guard this secret with their absolute lives. They spend thousands of dollars at private retreats to maintain this exact frequency. Meanwhile, they flood your daily life with endless chaos to keep your gamma utterly dormant. They need you exhausted so they can remain in charge. The elites are panicking right now and actively trying to scrub this from the internet. They want you confused by cheap imitations and dangerous fake frequencies. I will tell you exactly what this authentic protocol is called before this message ends. I will show you how to access it in the pinned comment. But first, you need to understand the immediate effect this upgrade is having on your enemies. While your frequency is preparing for this massive biological reset, their entire world is quietly catching fire. I need you to imagine this exact scenario happening right now behind their closed doors. The narcissist who tried to destroy you is currently experiencing a profound internal crisis. They are wearing a fake smile in public, but in private, their mind is rapidly unraveling into total chaos. They thought your departure would break you into tiny pieces. They waited patiently for you to come crawling back to them, begging for validation. Instead, your complete silence became a deafening alarm bell inside their head. The flying monkeys they used to spread gossip are starting to turn against them. Their carefully constructed false narrative is developing massive, irreversible cracks. Energy vampires require a constant flow of pure light to survive their own miserable existence. When you finally walked away, you cut off their primary food source completely. Now they are desperately starving in the dark. They are frantically trying to drain new victims to replace you, but they are quickly realizing that nobody has your specific gravity. Nobody carries your profound spiritual depth. They can literally feel your energy field upgrading from miles away. It is hitting them like a sudden wave of severe physical sickness. You are no longer holding their heavy emotional baggage for them, and because you finally dropped it, the full weight of their own dark karma is crushing their chest. They cannot sleep peacefully at night anymore. They wake up in cold sweats because their spirit knows the massive debt is finally due. The people they used to gossip with are slowly waking up to the ugly truth. The innocent mask is slipping in real time. The manipulator is trying to control the massive damage, but every single word they speak just makes them look more incredibly unstable to the public. Your complete lack of response is the most terrifying weapon they have ever faced in their life. You gave them absolutely nothing to use against you. They are actively checking your social media in secret to find a single flaw. They are obsessively asking about you through mutual contacts, but all they see is an untouchable cycle breaker stepping into a permanent, ageless glow. It makes them absolutely sick to their stomach. They wanted to be the main character in your tragic downfall, but they became a forgotten footnote in your ultimate victory. Right now, they are frantically trying to build one final trap for you. They desperately want to trigger a reaction to prove they still hold some dark power over your beautiful life. but their hands are violently shaking. Their dark magic has completely run out of power and influence. The universe has already issued the final verdict on their pathetic fate. Heaven is simply waiting for the perfect public moment to execute this divine justice. And you are about to have a front row seat to the exact collapse they spent years trying to avoid. Now, I need you to visualize this exact moment like a movie playing in slow motion. Look closely at the dark room where they are gathering right now. The air in that confined space is incredibly thick with toxic anxiety. You can almost smell the bitter desperation radiating from their skin because they know they are running completely out of options. They are pacing back and forth across the floor. Their frantic mind is racing to find one last vulnerability. They have called in their loyal audience to help them build this final trap. The flying monkeys are sitting there nodding along to every single twisted lie. They are coordinating their fake stories to make sure you look like the absolute villain today. They want to orchestrate a moment so deeply humiliating that you will finally break your silent streak, and they want you to react in pure anger. But look much closer at the master manipulator leading this pathetic little meeting. Their hands are visibly shaking as they hold their phone in the dark. Heavy sweat is forming on their forehead, and they are terrified that the crowd will soon realize the truth about who they really are. This final trap is their very last desperate attempt at personal survival. They are completely cornered by their own karma. They are carefully setting the stage for a massive public confrontation today. They have placed the bait perfectly to trigger your deepest childhood wounds. They expect you to walk right into the center of their staged drama, and they want you to blindly defend yourself against their accusations. They are banking on your beautiful empathy to force you into a tight corner. They truly think your big heart is a fatal weakness. The vicious whispers are growing much louder as the final pieces fall perfectly into place. They have convinced the gullible crowd that you are unstable and totally unpredictable. They are smiling, that chilling fake smile they always use when they think they have finally won the game, but it is hiding their deep panic. The dangerous snare is completely hidden beneath a thick layer of fake concern. They believe they hold all the powerful cards. While they are sweating heavily in the dark, you are standing in pure, brilliant light. You are entirely unaware of their petty little schemes playing out behind your back. You are just living your peaceful life, and you are stepping much deeper into your newly activated gamma frequency. Heaven is watching this entire pathetic setup from above with absolute perfect clarity. God sees the snare they have hidden. Your profound silence has pushed them into a state of severe psychological starvation. They desperately need a messy reaction from you just to feel like they actually exist. So they are pushing all their remaining chips to the center of the wooden table. They are risking their own public reputation just to drag you down into the mud with them. It is a suicide mission disguised as a brilliant master plan. The trap is now fully armed and patiently waiting for your innocent arrival. The hungry crowd is holding its breath to see exactly how you will eventually respond. They have laid out the perfect scenario to make you look absolutely crazy in front of everyone you know. They are counting down the tense minutes until you finally stumble and fall. They are absolutely certain that this time they will destroy you. But there is one massive vital detail they completely failed to calculate in their grand scheme. They forgot that they are not dealing with a normal human being anymore. They completely forgot that you are a highly protected asset of the universe, and they are trying to play a human game of chess against a divine timeline. They do not realize that the heavy board is already rigged entirely in your favor. You do not even need to lift a single finger to defend yourself against them today. Heaven has already deployed its heaviest spiritual forces to surround your precious energy field. The warrior angels are literally standing shoulder to shoulder, forming an invisible wall of fire around you. The enemy is about to throw their absolute best weapon directly at a solid diamond shield. The impact is going to be devastating. I want you to feel the absolute stillness of this highly specific moment. This is the quiet, heavy calm right before the massive storm violently breaks open. The narcissist is standing there with a smug look, waiting for you to fall blindly into the deep pit. The flying monkeys have their cameras ready to capture your ultimate embarrassing downfall. They think they wrote the perfect ending to your tragic story. But the dark pit they dug for you is exactly where they are going to sleep tonight. The snare they carefully set is about to wrap incredibly tightly around their own ankles. You are going to walk right past their carefully laid trap without even noticing it is actually there. And your complete lack of attention is going to trigger the heavy mechanism perfectly. The sudden explosion will catch them completely off guard. Watch what happens next, because it is mathematically precise. The heavy pressure in the room has reached an absolute boiling point today. The enemy is taking a deep breath to deliver their final fatal blow to your reputation. They open their mouth to speak the vicious lie that will ruin you forever. But heaven decides that this is the exact second to violently intervene. The trap abruptly snaps shut, but you are not the one caught inside it. The master manipulator opens their mouth to deliver the final lethal blow to your reputation. And in that exact fraction of a second, their entire, carefully constructed false reality permanently shatters. They trip over their own vicious words in front of the hungry crowd, and the massive lie they plan to tell completely collapses into obvious nonsense. The exact public collapse you were promised is happening right now. Their innocent mask does not just slip off. It completely shatters into 1,000 sharp pieces on the cold floor. The loyal flying monkeys who gathered to laugh at your downfall are suddenly staring in absolute horror. They are looking directly at the real monster for the very first time, and they finally realize how badly they were manipulated by this sick person. The manipulator tries desperately to backtrack and save their sinking ship. They attempt to laugh it off as a simple, harmless joke, but the heavy atmosphere in the room has turned completely to ice. Nobody is smiling back at them today. The heavy gravity of their dark karma has hit them all at once, leaving them completely paralyzed and humiliated in front of their favorite audience. Look at their physical reaction in this beautiful moment of pure justice. Heavy sweat is pouring down their panicked face. Their hands are visibly trembling as they frantically search the silent room for a single ally. But they are completely alone. The very people they used to gossip with are actively backing away in disgust, because the ugly truth is finally standing naked in the harsh daylight. This is the ultimate vengeance from heaven. You won this massive victory without lifting a single tired finger. You did not have to argue or defend your beautiful name. Your profound silence starved their demons until they turned on their own master. Now the narcissist is publicly unraveling, and they are frantically trying to explain their crazy behavior to a crowd that no longer believes them. In a shocking twist of absolute panic, they actually try to defend you. They suddenly start backtracking and praising your good character to save their own skin. They violently bang their hands on the wooden table and demand that everyone respect you. It is a pathetic display of desperate submission, but the severe damage to their own reputation is already permanently done today. The tables have turned so violently that it will make their heads spin for years. They wanted to humiliate you and force you to crawl back into their dark matrix. Instead, they just completely destroyed their own fake empire in mere seconds. The invisible fortress protecting you simply deflected their vicious attack, and it sent the destructive energy bouncing right back into their empty chest. Every single time your name is mentioned in that room from now on, it will hit them with agonizing pain. They will constantly remember the exact moment they threw away the only genuine diamond they ever held. The regret is already eating them alive from the inside out. They know they can never approach your bright light ever again. The divine eviction notice has been fully served, and the universe has permanently locked them out of your beautiful reality. This is the exact X-ray of their meltdown we promised at the beginning. The public collapse you were patiently waiting for just happened right in front of their loyal followers. Your silence did not just hurt their massive ego, it permanently ended their dark reign over your precious life. The heavy chains are finally broken. You are no longer waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. You are completely free. You can finally breathe deep into your lungs without feeling that heavy, toxic weight. Look at the absolute wreckage they left behind in their own sad life. While their deep bitterness and dark envy are aging them terribly, the universe has completely reversed your biological clock. You stepped out of the raging fire, and you did not even smell like smoke. They are stuck forever in the miserable prison they tried to build for you, but you are rapidly ascending to a level of power they cannot even comprehend. Heaven is placing a heavy crown of untouchable authority directly onto your head today. The spiritual warfare that kept you exhausted for years is officially over, and the glorious harvest you have been crying out for is finally ready to fall. The enemy is completely defeated. The toxic matrix has absolutely no power over your brilliant mind anymore. Your divine vindication is complete and perfect in every single way. But there is one final critical step you must take right now to lock this new reality into physical existence. You cannot simply watch them fall and then passively walk away from the battlefield without claiming your massive reward. Heaven demands immediate obedience to seal this permanent victory. The doors to massive abundance are swinging wide open for the remnant, but your brain must be ready to receive the absolute flood of divine favor. You must activate the specific frequency that forces your physical reality to match your new spiritual authority. The time for waiting in the dark shadows is totally over today. You walked into this season bleeding from deep wounds. Blind people inflicted that heavy pain on your beautiful spirit, and they took your pure kindness to use as a weapon against you. But look closely at your energy field right now. You have totally transcended their toxic matrix. You are no longer waiting for a pathetic apology. You are stepping straight into your permanent, untouchable power. The financial struggles and the profound spiritual exhaustion are shattering today. The heavy closed doors are flying wide open for your specific bloodline. While your enemies are publicly unraveling in the dark, you are walking in pure daylight. The universe has officially handed you the ultimate victory. Heaven has completely cleared your path. But there is one final, urgent step. They wanted you permanently buried in the dirt, but they became the heavy shovel that dug up your greatest treasure, because heaven used their vicious attacks to build your invincible armor. You are completely free from their relentless emotional manipulation. Your past pain was simply the necessary friction required to awaken your true divine nature. Claim your absolute authority right now. The spiritual warfare that kept you exhausted for years is officially over, and the glorious harvest you have been crying out for is finally ready to fall. But there is one critical step you must take today. You cannot simply walk away from this battlefield without claiming your massive reward. Heaven demands your immediate physical obedience to seal this victory forever. Your left brain is going to try to inject deep financial doubt right now. The enemy will desperately whisper in your tired ear, and he will tell you to hesitate and wait for a better moment. Silence him immediately. That hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep you permanently broke. The dark elite are terrified because your frequency is about to fully shift. If your spirit is vibrating with a cellular knowing right now, heaven demands action. Do not let the matrix block your massive incoming shift. Science just exposed the exact frequency they use to suppress your wealth. And a leaked document revealed the precise audio ritual that forces your brain back into synchronized gamma coherence. The powerful solution is incredibly simple. You do not need a $7,000 clinical machine to fix your life. You do not need endless years of exhausting spiritual healing. You simply put on your headphones and close your tired eyes, while the 7-minute sound wave does all the heavy lifting for you. It gently guides your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were naturally born with. It is called the Genius Song. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used it to unlock their destined wealth. A nurse from California said her life now feels wonderfully enchanted, while a business owner from Texas said his hardest problems solve themselves while he sleeps. The heavy generational curses they carried for decades are simply gone forever. The elite want this suppressed technology to remain completely out of your reach, so they are actively trying to scrub this leaked document from the internet today. You might only have minutes before the algorithm shuts this down entirely. Do not look for this track on public streaming platforms. The copies circulating there are dangerous counterfeits designed to keep you trapped. The Matrix is flooding the internet with these fake, diluted frequencies. The only authentic genius song is heavily protected from their dark interference, and you must access it through the specific link in the description and the pinned comment below. Do not ignore this massive sign. Secure your access instantly before it is completely removed from the public forever. The universe does not require a chosen one to take a single risk today. You are fully protected by an ironclad divine guarantee. If you do not feel the massive shift you deserve, every penny is returned without question, because this is a pure energetic exchange governed by complete trust. Your beautiful spirit is fully insulated from any matrix losses. 4 powerful bonuses are waiting for you inside this protected portal. They include the original prosperity book that secret societies used to build their massive wealth. You will also receive a specific audio track engineered for your children, which actively protects their pure frequency from the same matrix programming that tried to suppress you. It is a complete family shield. God does not measure your beautiful faith by your wandering thoughts, but heaven strictly measures your true faith by your speed of obedience. The window of massive multiplication is standing wide open right now. Prove you are truly ready to receive your divine inheritance. Do not wait for a better moment. The chosen one who hesitates simply becomes the chosen one who wonders. Click the link in the pinned comment immediately. Step boldly through the open door and claim your original copy of the genius song today before the elite shut it down. Your powerful gamma wave is desperately waiting to be reactivated. Your massive destiny is waiting to be unlocked. Do not let them steal your frequency ever again. You are free.